So this would be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now, for some reason, the circle is important in standardized tests. All right, it looks complicated, but it's not. Remember, HK is just called the what? Center. And of course, R is equal to the radius. All right. Now, if these are the endpoints of the diameter, everybody should be able to look at that and say, well, then the center is obviously what? What is the center? Yeah, come on. Everybody should be able to tell me that the center is -18, -9. Because if you just drew those out, right, let's just say you're not understanding. If you drew -17 and -9, that would be over here. And -19, -9 would be right there. So then you should be able to say, okay, if those are the endpoints, then the center is going to be right in the middle. All right. So if we didn't want to graph it, we could also say, all right, that the center is called the what? Yes. All right. But we would say not average necessarily, but the what? Thank you. All right. It's always the midpoint. All right. Now, for those of you guys who may have forgotten midpoints, you might remember the midpoint formula, even though it's not necessary. What was it?
Like x1 plus x2 over 2.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Thank you. The midpoint. All right. The midpoint is just the middle. Middle is an average. All right. So if you forgot that, you could just simply say, well, the midpoint would be the center of the circle. All right. So now that we know that the midpoint of the circle or the center of the circle is -18, -9, now we can write the first half of the answer. The first half of the answer would be x plus 18 squared plus y plus 9 squared equals r squared. Everybody with me on that? Okay, so now I'm just to draw something out real quick. Not real quick, but let's just, wow. So if I try to draw this circle right here, and I put that this is the center, and then these 2 points are on the circle. So the question is, what is the radius? Yeah, that wasn't that hard, right? And the reason why it's not that hard is because it's just moved horizontally, correct? Does anybody have any questions with that? So the radius is in fact 1. All right. So my answer is x plus 18 squared plus y plus 9 squared equals 1 squared. And just 1 squared is just what? 1. All right. So that's the answer to the first one. Now, I would suggest that this one's easy because the diameter is horizontal. But what happens if it's not horizontal? All right, then finding the radius would be a little bit harder. So let me try to explain that real quick. Does everybody agree this point is on the graph, the end point? Right? So this point is on the graph. Is everybody with me? And this point is also on the graph, correct? So these points satisfy the condition of this equation. Does everybody agree with that? Come on, we're fine. Does everybody agree with that? So if you're missing R, you can substitute in these 2 values for what? What can I substitute those 2 values in for? And thank you very much. Come on, I'm trying to get you to see the logic here. -17 is a what? -17 is an x. Everybody agree with that? And -9 is a what? So please listen to what I'm saying. Does everybody agree I'm missing R? So if I put -17 in for x and I put -9 in for y, that will tell me what? That will tell me what R is. All right, so if I were to plug -17 in for X, what's -17 plus 18? 1 squared. 1 squared is 1 plus, if I plug -9 in, what's -9 plus 9? There you have it. So R squared was in fact what? 1. All right, now again, I'm trying to show you because I think it's logical. Right? Now, some of you might be saying, well, the equation is kind of a tricky thing to remember. But I'll give you that. But once you come up with that formula, these problems over here should be relatively easy now. All right. So let's check out number 2 now. Or I'm sorry, number 14. So I need someone to calculate for me real quick the center of the circle. Let's see who is paying attention. Tell me. 0, -1. Now remember, please do not sit there. Please don't sit there and let me do the work. Let someone else do the work. You shouldn't write down 0, -1 unless you don't know it's 0, -1. Anybody have any issues with 0, -1? Well, you came in 10 minutes late, so I'm not expecting you to know. All right. Yes.
Did you get 0, -1?
What did we say the center was? Take a guess what I said the center was. Take a guess at what the center was.
It was
I'm flashing it up there on the screen for you to see. What is it?
I see that. 0, -1.
Do you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
The center is the what?
it's the midpoint.
It is the midpoint. The center is the midpoint. The center is the midpoint of the endpoints of the diameter. Is everybody with me on that? All right. So is everybody able now to calculate 0, -1? Sebastian?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So that's the center. All right. So now everybody write the first part of the equation. All right. So the left side of the equation would read something like x minus 0. Do we really have to do minus 0? No. So x squared plus what? Y plus 1 squared equals R squared. Liam, by the way, all of this is on the worksheet that was already given to you. Oh, okay. I will see what I can do. I'll look around. Just give me a second. All right. So now, here we go. So x squared plus y plus 1 squared equals R squared. So how do I figure out what R is? Tell me.
So you bring -3 down, square it, that's 9.
9 plus.
And then you bring, I think, -13 down.
No. Which one did you bring down? The 3 or the -3? Sorry. So if you bring the -3, you should bring down the what?
The 11.
Yes. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't switch points,
Yeah.
but
So then it'd be 11 plus 1 squared, which is 144.
that's correct.
And then
Equals R squared. So R squared in fact equals what? How much?
153.
153. Do I care that R would be the square root of 153?
Oh,
No, because I'm looking to write the equation. So the equation now is just x squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 153. Equals 153. Yes, sir. Good for you. You sure? Because we're not, that's a good question, right? Because I'm not interested. If I said, what is R? You would tell me R is the square root of 153. You agree with that? But I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for that. All right. So now I'm asking everyone, how are we doing as far as writing the equations? It's really not hard. What?
Where did those numbers 9 and 144 come from?
Are you having trouble with 3 squared? And then I plug 11 in for X, Sebastian. Were you here yesterday?
Yeah.
Look, all I'm doing, Sebastian, I'm trying to draw you a picture. Here, I plug -3 in for X. I plug 11 in for Y.
Okay.
Do you see it now?
No matter if you use either one.
Why don't you take a look and you answer your own question? Does it matter? Now I'm asking you a question, does it matter?
Looks like a blue, but it probably doesn't.
Well, plug 3 in and square it, what do you get?
9.
9. Plug -13 in, what do you get?
Negative 169.
So,
Oh, wait,
what are you getting?
Oh, wait, same thing, because negative plus.
Very good. You good with that or not? All right, here we go. Let's take a look at 15. Let's everybody try to write the circle, the answer for 15. You got it already? How is that so quick?
Because I'm a genius.
Okay, here we go. I'm listening then, genius.
X plus 15 squared plus y minus 3 radical 7 squared equals 2.
How's that? Shh. This part wasn't difficult, right? Everybody's understanding how we got this, right? But how did he get the 2 here? Go ahead, explain that. I'm listening.
You do like the area for a circle equals pi r squared.
Very nice. The area of a circle is pi r squared.
So 2 pi equals pi r squared.
Yes,
And then you can cancel out the pi's, and then 2 equals r squared.
that's exactly correct. Look how easy that is. All right, very, very simple. Okay, guys. All right. Anybody have any issues with that part of it? All right, now all you're doing is you're just taking the information here, right, and converting it into r squared. All right, so let's take quickly a look at 16. Everybody quickly write that out for me. Go. Easy. X plus 11 squared plus y plus 14 squared equals 16. Anybody have any issues with that? Okay. 17. Here we go. All right, Sebastian.
So I got x plus 5 squared plus y minus 12 squared equals 16.
How'd you get 16?
So like 2 pi r equals 8 pi. And you can divide
2 pi r equals the circumference, which in this case is 8 pi.
And you could divide the size by 2.
So the radius is in fact
4
what?
pi, but then you could square it to make it the radius.
Yeah. That's it. That's how simple. All right. So let's go ahead and calculate number 18 real quick. Couple more will be done. All right, Tanner.
X minus 15 squared plus y minus 14 squared equals 15.
That's exactly correct. All right, again, circumference is 2 pi r. So the radius was just square root of 15. You square it, 15. Anybody have any issues now? All right, hopefully you feel like that's pretty easy. All right, so let's go with 19. Come on. This is very similar to the first ones we did. I'm listening, go.
So I put x minus 2 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals r squared.
Good.
And then I put the numbers down, so I got negative 7 minus 2 squared.
Tell me what that is. What's negative 7 minus 2?
Negative 9 squared, which is 81.
Then,
Negative 1 plus 5 squared, which is just 6 squared.
good.
So I got 97 equals r squared.
That is correct. So now after all that, guys, all I'm doing is asking you to erase the r squared and put in a what? 97. And that's it. Come on, that's really simple now. Right? Really simple. All right, so everybody do 20. All right, just come on. All right, everybody do 20. All right. If you're not getting the answer, you should be saying, help me out. I'm a little slow today. I don't mind. All right. And the more you write out the formula, the more it becomes ingrained in your head. All right. And then you don't have to worry about it because the next test has lots of formulas. All right. And all you have to do is remember all the formulas. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oliver, you ready? Go.
I got x minus 14 squared plus y minus 17 squared equals 1.
Does it equal 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody not sure if it equals 1? Anybody not sure about what's going on? Write out the left side of the equation, plug in a number, and that will solve for r squared. Any issues? All right. So now, again, guys, I'm not real sure, but this was the hard one on the test for kids. And I tell the reason, or I tell them the reason why it's hard is because you're not visualizing it. All right. So here again, all right, I always just like to draw myself a little X and Y axis. I don't have to make it drawn to scale or anything. I just say, okay, where is negative 15, 9? Negative 15, 9 is this point right here. So I agree with that. Where is negative 17? Here's the equation. X equals negative 17. So if it's tangent, that just means it touches it at what? It just means it touches it at one point. So please watch how simple this is. So here's my circle, and now it's tangent. Does everybody see that now? All right, since we know what the center of the circle is, then that's just what? The first half of the equation. Come on, someone volunteer, help me out. Come on. Sophia, good. Write the first part.
X plus 15
Yep,
squared
yep.
plus
Yeah, easy as that. Okay. Now, when it says it tangent, just means it touches at a single spot, right? So if you draw it out, to me, that should be obvious. What's the radius now? So everybody, I mean, it's just easy. I'm not expecting you to just look at that and say, well, obviously the radius is 2. Eventually, if you do it a couple times, you'll just be able to tell me what the radius is. But for now, if you draw it out, it's just really, really simple. All right, really simple. So if the radius is 2, then it equals to 4. Is everybody agreeing with that? All right. So let's just knock out 22 real quick. We might just do this, guys. We'll finish 22, 23, 24, and we'll even call it a day. All right. So I want everyone, I'm going to put it on pause here, and I'm going to, what? No, I'm going to put it on pause. I want everybody to do this last 3. All right. I'm going to do this. Here we go. Okay. Andrew, did you get this one? Go. Y minus what? Equals. How'd you get that? Yeah, from -2 to what? -5 is what? 3 units. 3 squared is 9. Easy. Very easy. All right, let's check out 23. So if the center lies on the x-axis and it's tangent to x equals 7. So I just drew x equals 7, which looks something like this. And then I drew -13, which would be something like this. And then I tried to draw a circle that was tangent to both. That's what you should be thinking about. Does everybody agree with that? So then we just kind of eyeball where the tangent or where the center would be about. To me, the center is about right there. And of course, the center is the average, correct? So we all knew that the center was located at what? Where's the center located? What is it, Sebastian?
So the average.
I'm asking, what is the center? You don't have to tell me anything else. Just tell me the center.
It's -3
-3 what?
x. Like x equals -2.
Will someone help him, please, with the center?
-3
Yes, I believe -3, 0 is correct for the center. All right. So now let's write the first half of the equation, which would be what? X plus 3 squared plus y squared equals 100. Because the distance from -3 to -13 is 10, or the distance from -3 to 7 is 10. So 10 squared is 100. Anybody have any questions with that? Anybody?
Oh.
All right, let's check out last one. Center lies in the 4th quadrant. Tangent to x equals 7. All right, so again, visual is important. So it's tangent to x equals 7. So I'm just going to rough in x equals 7. I'm going to rough in x equals 17. And then I'm going to put y equals -4. And it's tangent to what? It's tangent to all those, and it lies in the 4th quadrant. So to me, if it's going to be tangent to all of those, then to me, all right, it would have to be over here. So the circle would be over here somewhere. Does everybody agree with that? Right.
Yeah, it could also be below.
Yes, thank you. You could put, yes, it could be below. All right. So if we wanted to, we could just extend this out.
I'll have to be in the fourth quadrant.
Stand
I think that was powerful.
All right,
Counterclockwise is opposite of the clock.
that's quadrant 1, 2,
Logan doing both.
3,
That's what I do.
4. All right, so we know that's tangent to x equals 7 and tangent to x equals 17. That means the x coordinate is going to be located at what? 12. Exactly. And it lies in the fourth quadrant and it's tangent to y equals -4. So what is the radius of the circle now? Does anybody want to tell me what the radius of the circle is?
Radius can be -2. I could only ask.
What's the radius? That's what I'm asking.
5.
The radius, I believe, is 5. Is that correct?
-2.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Hey, guys, y'all are playing and I'm trying to get done. All right, I'm asking you, if you don't understand what the radius is 5, I'll be happy to explain. From here to here is how much, Sebastian?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so now we know that the radius is 5. All right, now, if this is -4, if this is y equals -4 and it's tangent, that means it's got to be 5 units away from that, correct? If I go 5 units up, what's the problem with going 5 units up?
It's not in the fourth quadrant.
It's not in the fourth quadrant. So I must go what?
down.
You must go 5 units down. So the y value would end up being what? -9. All right. So now we know the equation is what?
X minus 12 squared plus y plus 9 squared equals 25.
All right. Anybody have any issues with that now? Anybody? All right. I am pretty happy with that.